you're debugging your code, you want to look for all three types of errors. So for instance, we would be looking for syntax errors. So if we run this here, see, this code will start to run. Error circ, we get this syntax. Actually, this is a runtime error because it did start running, but then it crashed. So what happened was we get this error that says name error. Area cir, spelled A-R-E-A, capital C-I-R, is not defined. And that's because I purposefully misspelled this. So the name of the variable is area circ, so it doesn't matter what you call it or how you spell it, but you have to be consistent throughout the program, or you'll get an error. An example of a straight up syntax error, if we don't have enough parentheses here, you'll just automatically get a syntax error. It's not even going to try to run. It's just going to give you a syntax error. Let's see what else could give us some syntax errors. And you'll notice here, actually, before I fix this, let's run this again. An important thing with Python to notice is that it's actually giving us the error here on this line. There's nothing wrong with this line. The error actually happened up here. It actually didn't have enough parentheses here, and it indicated on the next line. That is unfortunately pretty common with Python, the Python interpreter, specifically the Python interpreter that we're using that comes with Python 3. I'm using idle. So if you get an error and you cannot, specifically a syntax error, but really also a runtime error, and you cannot find it on the line that is indicated, look the line above and see if you can find it there. So let's see if I fix this. Let's see what else I can break. Not having enough of your quotations is also going to give us an error. So here we go. We got EOL while scanning string literal. This is an end of line error, and this just means we got to the end of the line and we couldn't find where you meant to stop at. You'll get EOL with all different types of things, but it basically means the interpreter got to the end of the line and didn't really know what to do. So and this time it did show us on the right line, so we're good. So we can fix this here. Let's see, what else can I break? Break lots of things. What if I did this here? Let's take away that. It says we get this error here. Value error could not convert a string to a float, so we can't. This isn't convertible to a float, so that's going to get us an error. The best way to learn how to debug is to go through and make mistakes. You know, it's good if you take a piece of code like this that you know works and see what you can break and see what happens, see what types of error that the interpreter gives you. That can be a really good way. But really, you're just going to kind of pick this up as you go, as you gain more experience with programming. I mean, another type of error, the logic error, is if this equation was wrong. So this is going to run just fine, and it's going to look like we get what we want. So I'm going to enter it, and it's going to say here, you know, here's your area, here is your circumference, but you would have to double check your math because this is the incorrect equation. So it looks perfectly fine, but there's actually a mistake here. So it's not just getting the program to run and spit something out for you. You also have to check what it's spitting out and see if it makes any sense. So this is actually, instead of being 2 times, it's 4 times. So it's actually a lot bigger than it needs to be, double actually. So so make sure that you look for those logic errors in addition to syntax errors and runtime errors. We've also been working with Turtle, so let's look at what some issues we could come up with Turtle. So if we run this, No module named turtle. So right away, that's misspelled. If the module is actually turtle with a lowercase t. So make sure when you're importing, you import the right stuff. And here we go. So here we had a background color of light green. It titles it as turtle. And then let's see, it does not draw. It draws our triangle, or sorry, our rectangle, and then it says begin fill. Oh, we have, it's not going to be able to find this. So actually, if we come back here, we had an error. Name error, unum is not defined. So let's change this to something that the code's going to be able to understand. The interpreter is going to be able to know because we don't have unum, or we could have just defined unum. Either way will work. But here we're going to get a rectangle, and then we're going to get a circle that's filled in. So what if we do this? Let's say we just say begin fill without indicating that we're using the turtle module. It's going to start out just fine, and then it's going to say begin fill is not defined because we're trying to use this. This is as if it's just a function, which we're going to learn more about how to make our own functions, but we don't have this function defined anywhere in here, and it doesn't. We haven't told it that we need to use it from the turtle module. That this needs to be this needs to indicate actually the right place to find it, and the right place to find it is in the turtle module. There's a way to import it to where you don't have to do this turtle dot. I don't recommend it. It can mess you up in some other ways, especially if you decide to create turtles, not just using the generic turtle that's provided in the turtle module, but if you want to create your own turtles, you can run into some errors with that. So the key thing with turtle is that you're not just looking at whether or not the window pops up. So when I run this, does this window show up and everything draw appropriately? You've got to come over here and double check, are we getting any errors over here in the shell? So over here it will let us know if any errors have happened within the code. So that's just another place to look. And again, with debugging, you're gonna want to just practice. Really, it's like playing the guitar. The only way to figure out what a right note is and what a wrong note is to keep playing it over and over and over again until you know the particular motion, you know how it's supposed to sound. So happy programming with that, and have fun with Turtle.